So this is an unboxing video. I just got the first piece of my upcoming guitar build. I figured I'd just open it with you. This is the Mojoaxe Compensated Bridge, and they put it in a little box within a box. I'll show you what this is. As soon as I figure out how to open it. Man, that's fancy. I wonder who did that. That is like a postal worker who is a pro. Look at that. What even is this? Is this an envelope? Or is this just like a made up little thing? That's pretty cool. I'm impressed. Here it is. Mojoaxe Compensated Wraparound Tailpiece in a vintagey kind of distressed finish. Let's have a look at it. That's it. This is like, oh, this is expensive. I forget how much this is. How much did I pay for this? This is a receipt. $152 for this. So this is why my guitar is hopefully going to be awesome if I don't screw it up. So what this is on a Les Paul Jr., you don't have a two-nomatic bridge, ABR1 they call it. You just have this. So this affects your intonation and everything. Your strings literally just go straight to this. They wrap around it and go back in. And that's your whole bridge right there. So for one, it's just part of the design. And also it's part of the tone. You know, it changes the tone when the strings don't have to touch the little brass saddles like on a regular Les Paul. They go straight to this. It just is different. A lot of the things that make Les Pauls and certain guitars cool is sort of accidental. But the thing is, it was a happy accident. So when you try to change it beyond that, you just end up with something different. And it might not be as good. You might have an unhappy accident trying to make it better. So stick with the happy accident. The thing that makes this cool, besides, as opposed to using a vintage piece, is Mojoaxe has come along, and I don't know if you can see this, but you can see the line here on the top, and it's at an angle. It's kind of goes like this, and then it jogs up, and then it goes like this. Whereas the original 50s ones were just a straight line. And what ends up happening is you can't adjust the intonation on this. You're just stuck with whatever it is. I mean, there's little screws here where you can move the whole side up or the whole side this way, but you can't adjust the individual strings. So you'll notice if you have a Les Paul, you'll notice if you look at the bridge, and I can show you one later, maybe I'll cut to one. They end up always kind of having a bit of an orientation like this, like 3 in a row and then another 3 in a row. So Mojoaxe has come along and go, we're going to make a 50s style bridge, but we're going to make it better than Gibson ever did, and we're just going to make that line a little different. So basically, with this super rudimentary unadjustable design, you should be able to have your guitar in tune. Now I'm just looking at the aging process on this, and I gotta say I'm actually really impressed with it. The thing about aging anything on the guitar, trying to make it look authentic, is you have to remember that this guitar started off super shiny. So, you know, you look at a 59 Les Paul today, and you know, it's kind of a matte finish. All the nickel is matte, oxidized, the finish is cracked, etc. But you got to remember this started off as a shiny guitar. So there's a good chance that there are still some spots on the guitar that are shiny. I mean, this guitar was buffed, it was polished, and then it went from that state down to the current sort of oxidized, sweated on matte state. So if you want to do an authentic Relic, make a guitar look old, you have to if you really want to do it right, you got to start off with a guitar that is perfect looking, and then age it. So you can't just take, you know, the nickel and just not polish it and say, oh, it's aged. You have to basically polish it and then unpolish most of it. If that makes sense. So what I really like about this is there's still parts on it that look shiny, really shiny. And actually, I'm almost kind of trying to polish a little bit of it with my finger. So when I do my guitar, I got to figure out how to do that because I want it to look kind of lightly aged. And I bought like satin clear coat, for example. Because overall I like kind of a satin look, but now I'm kind of wondering if it may not work. And if it doesn't work, I'll just have to spray one more coat of clear over it in gloss, polish it, and then kind of unpolish most of it so that there's a few little shiny spots. I mean, the best example I have is I have an acoustic guitar, a Guild, and it's been pretty well taken care of. It's not like a beater guitar, but it has a few dents, a few things. The finish is kind of cracked from, you know, hot and cold expanding. Eventually the finish just cracks and you get these little very subtle spider web sort of cracks in the finish. And I never polish it, I never really clean it, I just let the mojo accumulate. But there's parts of it that are still kind of shiny, covered with lots of parts that are dull. And that's kind of, I mean, it's authentic, it's not fake. This just happened with age and playing it. So if you want to make a guitar look like that, that's kind of what you have to do. Anyway, first piece of my guitar, probably the last piece to go on. I don't even know why I bought this right now. One of the things that you can tell, it doesn't say anything on the bottom. The original ones, they would say, I think they say Gibson on the bottom, because they are actually made in a mold. Whereas this, I believe, is made by taking already like a piece of aluminum billet and machining it out of it. So it's kind of cool because it's like making it in a better way, a more consistent way. But it's basically true to the original look. So in the old days, they were made in a mold, and probably some of them came out really good, but probably some of them might have had a little pocket of air in there or something, and it just wasn't consistent. Now you're getting just a very, very consistent, well, high quality piece without changing the original design. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, so anyway, this is the first piece of guitar, and look forward to getting more, and I look forward to actually getting the wood. And then, I mean, when I get into the stage where I'm screwing this stuff onto the body, I will be super excited. Stay tuned for more updates.